All right, hi. Today we're going to do multiplying and dividing decimals. This is a really good topic to go through, regardless if you're a higher student or a foundation student, because they can end up being in any paper, although specifically paper 1 because it's non-calculator. But what I mean is they can be in higher or in foundation. So let's look at 1 to start off with. Now, when we are multiplying decimals, rather just kind of ignore that the decimals are even there. Just multiply as though it were not a decimal question. So I'm going to say 923 times 41, instead of 4.1. Okay, and then you just do your long multiplication. So you've got 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 9 is 9, placeholder. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, with that 1 is 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Okay, then we add, so we've got 3, 4, 18, carry the 1, 7, 3. All right, so now there's your answer. Now I'm hoping that you realize the answer cannot be 37,843. Rather, the answer is actually 37.843. And the way we do that, and it's such a loophole, here in that number we've got 2 decimal places. Here we've got 1 decimal place. So in your answer, there must be 3. And that's literally all that you do, okay? Now, I am going to take the opportunity to show you my favorite way of multiplying because I actually don't like the column method. So I learned this, I don't even know or remember where, but you've got 923. So I've got 923. And then instead of 41, I write it like that. And then you put diagonals through. It's a lot more to set up, but it is nice, especially if you find column method very confusing. Right, so to start off with, here you're going to do 3 times 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. Then you're going to do, in this block, 3 times 1. And so 3 times 1 is 3. In this block, you're going to do 2 times 4, so that is 8. Then 2 times 1, so that is 2. 9 times 4, so that is 36. And 9 times 1, so that is 9. Then you are going to add the diagonal. So what I mean is you're going to add that one, and then add that one, and then add, and add. All right, so if we go back, sorry, just get my pen. That diagonal adds up to 3. 2 plus 0 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 8 plus 1 is 18, carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, and I've got 3. And you get exactly the same answer. And honestly, in my opinion, it's a lot easier. So that is multiplying decimals. You multiply as though the decimals weren't there, then you add on the decimals back. Okay? I think we're going to do a few where you are going to try just to see if you can do this, and we're going to move on from there. So I'm going to mess around with some decimals. So question 1, we'll do 2.38 times 0.11. Question 2, we'll do 32.65 times 2.4. Let's see. Yep, I think that's good. All right, so you try those two, pause the video, and when you get back, we'll go through them. Okay, so I'm going to use my method just because I really like my method. So for this one, I'm going to say 238, and for the other one, I'm going to do 11. Then you draw in your diagonals. So this is 8 and 8 and 3 and 3 and 2 and 2. Add up the diagonals, you get 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, carry the 1. 2 plus 3 is 5, but that 1 is 6. And then I've got a leftover 2. Now, here, in the question, here, we've got 2 decimal places. Here, we've got 2 decimal places. So in total, there must be 4 decimal places. Now, I've only got 4 numbers, which means the answer is 0.2618. And there are my 4 decimal places. All right, for the next one, we have got a much longer box. So we've got 3, 2, 6, 5. And here we've got 2 and 4. So again, I draw my diagonals. So you see you can actually make this box as big as you need it for whatever question you're doing. All right, so that gives me 10 and 20, 12 and 24, 4 and 8, 6 and 12. Let's add up the diagonals. My first diagonal is 0. Then 4 plus 2 gives me 6. 8 plus 2 is 10. 2 plus 1 is 3, so I've got 13. Let's carry the 1. 2 plus 4 plus 1 is 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. With that 1 is 8. And then 6 plus 1 is 7. Then in the question, here there were 2 decimal places. Here there was 1 decimal place. So in the answer, there must be 3. I hope you got the same thing as me. If not, maybe keep practicing, but these will come up in non-calculator papers. Next up, we're going to do some division. Right, so here we've got decimals that we're going to be dividing. You are not allowed to divide when the divisor is a decimal. So the divisor is the second value, the value that you're dividing by, that has to be whole. At the moment, it's 3.5. I don't want 3.5, I want 35. So instead, I'm going to multiply that by 10 to make 35. But cannot just do that randomly to one number. So you're going to take this part and also times it by 10. So now I've got 890.05, and that is going to be divided by 35. Now, you're not going to eventually divide by 10 or anything like that because fractions work differently. What you've made is an equivalent fraction. And so when you simplify it, you still get the same answer. So what you're doing is manipulating the question. Right, so now this I'm going to divide. But, and I'm sure many of you would agree, dividing by a double-digit number is just a pain. So I'm going to, again, find a loophole. I'm not going to divide by 35. I'm going to divide by 5 and then 7. Why am I dividing by 5 and 7? 5 and 7 are factors of 35. So I'm going to divide by 5, get an answer, and then divide the answer by 7. So to start, I'm going to say 5 into 890.05. All right? So 5 goes into 8 once, remainder 3. 5 goes into 39 7 times, leaves me with a remainder of 4. 5 goes into 48 times. We're going into the decimals now. 5 does not go into 0, so that's 0 times. 5 goes into 5 once. So now that I've got that answer, I'm going to use it to continue dividing. So I'm going to take that 178.01, put it in the bus stop, 178.01. I've used the 5. Now I'm going to divide by 7. So I'm going to put the 7 in here. 7 goes into 1 no times, carry the 1. 7 goes into 17 twice, remainder 3. 7 goes into 38 5 times, remainder 3. And now you're going over into the decimals. 7 goes into 34 times, remainder 2. And 7 goes into 21 3 times. And so my final answer is 25.43. You're not then magically timesing by 10 or dividing by 10 or anything like that. That is the answer because, again, when we times by 10, we were just making an equivalent fraction. And so that's the answer. All right? So, moral of the story here, if you can take the divisor and split it up into factors, it's going to make your life easier. If not, like let's say it's a prime number like 13, then you're just going to have to divide with 2 digits and it's a lot harder. Right. I want you to try 2 questions on your own. And after that, well, once you've paused and everything, then I'll go through them. So can you try these 2 for me? 9.618 divided by 2.1. And you can try 0.7464 divided by 0.24. All right, good luck. Okay, so let's go through these. This one you're going to times by 10, which means this one you're going to times by 10. So what you've actually got is 96.18 divided by 21. Then 21 I'm going to split into 3 and 7. I always like to divide by the smaller one first. So I'm going to say 3 into 96.18. 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 6 twice, decimal. 3 goes into 1 0 times, carry the 1. 3 goes into 18 6 times. Take that answer, put it in the bus stop. So you've got 32.06, and now you're going to divide that by 7. 7 doesn't go into 3, carry the 3. 7 goes into 32 4 times. Now we're going over the decimal, so decimal. Carry the 4, okay, because the remainder 4. 7 goes into 40 5 times, remainder 5, and 7 goes into 56 8 times. So your answer is 4.58. Okay, let's look at the next one. This time, if I want to make that 24 and not 0.24, I'm going to times it by 100, which means that this one you are also going to times by 100. So you've got 74.64 divided by 24. I personally am splitting this one up into 4 and 6. And I'm going to divide by the 4 first. So I'm going to say 4 into 74.64. So 4 goes into 7 once, remainder 3. 4 goes into 34 8 times, going over the decimals, and there's a remainder of 2. 4 goes into 26 6 times, remainder 2. And 4 goes into 24 6 times. Take that answer, use it. Right, so now I've got 18.66, and I'm dividing by 6. 6 goes into 1 no times, carry the 1. 6 goes into 18 3 times, going into the decimals. 6 goes into 6 once, 6 goes into 6 once. And so the answer is 3.11. Right, hope this lesson helped. Good luck with your exams.